Hello guys, welcome to another video of mine. I hope that you guys will just sit down and relax as we talk about books. As you can tell from the title of my thumbnail, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite FMCs. I wanted to do something different because I've already done a video about my top 10 book boyfriends, but I wanted to put a little twist on it. I'm going to put this in a frame as if these 6 female characters were part of my friend group. As I was looking at these friendship roles and like how it would play out, I really tried to stop and think about who would fit what role that would be somebody on my list, if that makes sense, right? Like I had these job categories of a friend group, and then I took my list of some of my favorite FMCs, and then I corresponded one of them with this particular role and who I thought would fit that best. And then I used that to build my friendship circle. All right, so let's get started. The first one I want to talk about, her name is Naylene. She's first introduced in the Queens of Renthia series. You meet her in book 2, and that's The Reluctant Queen. I absolutely love her. She's a lot like me. She kind of fits the role that I'm at in my life as a mom and as a wife. And so me and her just have a lot in common. Honestly, I could see her being my top BFF just because of our similarities. But as a friend role, she would definitely be the mom of the group. I could easily see her trying to tidy up, trying to make sure that we get to school on time, making sure that we have all of our books, we have everything organized, that we're eating our food. She would definitely be that mom figure. She would be the one that's trying to hurt us, where we need to go, making sure that we're living our dreams and our goals. Naylene is very much like that. I mean, in the book series, obviously she does have children, but you can kind of see her doing that. Even when she meets Daelina, which is the other FMC of the Queens of Renthia series, Daelina is much younger than her. I think Daelina is like 18 or 19. Naylene is 41, 42, right? And she even says that she kind of sees Daelina as a child figure, and sometimes she has a hard time understanding that Daelina is the queen, right? So it's like it kind of fights in her head, trying to be that mom of someone who has such a important role but is also so much younger than her. So it's interesting to see that battle. And then of course you've got this hardcore warrior Ven, who has been on his own for a long time, and he's fought a lot of battles and lots of spirits and things like that, and he's got scars and he's lost people, and so he's kind of got this rough edge to him. And watching her just mother him, like she takes no crap, you guys. I kid you not. Like, he's trained lots of people to be queens, and she had fought him in ways that nobody else ever had. And it's because she's older and she's got kids, and the series is really good. And again, Naylene would definitely be the mom of the group, trying to keep us herded and keep us together and clothed and fed and taken care of. And she would definitely be the one to dole out advice even if we didn't want to hear it. Next, we have Kate Daniels. And I had to think about this one a little bit because, actually with all of these, because several of them are quite similar, I've noticed, which I think in a way is why we would work. But I think I would categorize Kate Daniels in kind of the hipster side of our friend group, because to be the hipster of a friend group is basically to say that you're different, right? That you're different from your friends. Maybe you like different music. Maybe you like going to different stores. You shop for different clothes, right? Like you're part of the friend group, you click, you fit in, but you're so different. And that's Kate Daniels to a T. And Kate Daniels is part of the Magic series, which is my all-time favorite romance series. And it's very old, so I don't even know how many people even know about the Magic series anymore. But anyways, Kate Daniels is so different, and it makes sense. Her life was different than most children. She grew up differently. She didn't grow up with other children. She didn't grow up in a normal household. You know, she was carted away when she was little with an old soldier, and he trained her hardcore. He wasn't mean, but he wasn't necessarily nice to her either, right? Like, he wanted to train her to survive, so he pushed her and made her do things that were not normal for children. So she's definitely different, and she doesn't view the world the way that other people do. And so I could see her fitting into our group, but being different, liking different things than we liked, being a little bit more quiet, because she hasn't had a lot of friends. So she would be that person who would definitely be like the hipster. But she's also confident enough in herself that I could see her say, we're all sitting down in a restaurant and she's eating something different, and she would tease all of us for our preference, and then she'd be trying to get us to eat her food and to try it, and I could see it becoming like a whole thing, right? We're all just like, no, we're not gonna do it. I don't know. Next would probably be Feyre. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, if it's Feyre or Fairy. So I'm just gonna say Feyre, from the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. Now, she would definitely, in my personal opinion, be the overachiever in our little friend group. She's used to taking care of her family. She's used to having to take care of people. She's used to having to solve problems and figure things out. And I don't know, it's just something about her personality and things. Every time I read the book, I can easily see her being, in the real world, an overachiever, someone who's got to get straight A's, someone who has to be the top of her class, someone who studies her butt off to be at the top of whatever she does. Maybe she's in a sport, right? Like, she's in 4-H archery, okay? She would have to be the top. She would have to be, she would work herself to the bone to be the top contender in archery or whatever it is that she decided to do. So I could definitely see her being that overachiever, and, she'd be the one that we'd have to call and convince to go out on a Saturday night because she wants to stay home and study so that she can keep her grades up, right? So next we have Lauren Kalla, and that's from the House of Devils series. I absolutely love this series. I've only gotten through one book so far. They are pretty big books, and I've got a huge list of books that I'm trying to read, but I'm hoping to get some time to get to book number 2 really soon. But I absolutely love Lauren, and she is just so sweet, so kind. She's so very sure of herself. And that's why in our friend group, I could definitely see her being the therapist. She's the person that would, if you called and needed her, she would be willing to drive 3 hours to get to your house to comfort you when you're upset. She would move heaven and hell to be there for you in any way, shape, and form that she could. I have a feeling, just from having read the first book, that she's definitely someone who would be a good listener, someone that you can pour your heart out to, share every trouble with, and know that there's not going to be any judgment. There's not going to be any hate. She's just going to accept you. She'd be there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She would be that shoulder that you could cry on. That would definitely be Lauren. Next, we have Natalie. I absolutely love Natalie. Her story comes in the second book, which is Ruthless Creatures. And she is just this happy-go-lucky. Things just don't get to her. She gets kidnapped, you guys, and she's just like, hey, what's up? And she's just talking to her captors like they're the best of friends. If she was in our friend group, she would definitely be the party animal. You always have that one friend who's always up for a party, always up for a good time. They always know where all of the ravers are at, where all the parties are at, the go-to places to have fun, to have a good time, right? That would be Natalie to a T. She is so bubbly. She's so funny. Reading her books, you can't help but laugh. She's got a heart. She's been through some pretty horrible stuff. And it's that horrible stuff that she went through that has helped her to become the person that she is. And it's helped her become this bubbly, happy person. Like, sometimes trials and tribulations in your life, they can suck the joy out of you and you don't want to live. You just want to bury yourself in a hole and never come out again. But they didn't do that to her. To quote Divergent, right? It didn't scare her or cause her to hide. It woke her up, right? And so she lives her life not in fear. She says her thing. She's friends with everybody. She made friends with her captors. I mean, she's just very charismatic, and he'll disappear, and the next thing you know, he'll come back, and all of his bodyguards are around the table with her, and they're all playing poker. You know, I mean, Natalie is just that charismatic, and she has a way of bringing people together. She'd be the one like barging into Feyre's house, picking through clothes and finding something for her to wear so we can go out and have a party, because Feyre needs to get out and not stay in her room all the time studying. Now, this one's going to be kind of weird. And, you know, maybe not everybody would agree with me. The last role that I have would be the advisor of the friend group. This is the person that everybody would go to for advice and support. And honestly, to me, and that would be Aelin from the Throne of Glass series. I know. Okay, she is quite unsure of herself. There for a while, she wants to hide from the responsibility of who she is. And I get that. But if you look deep down into the core of her, past the hiccups, past the self-sabotaging, look past the fears, look past the self-doubt. She's honest and she's smart and she thinks through problems, and she helped do things in the Throne of Glass series that changed the course of the entire series. It was incredible the way that she managed to set pieces in place. Yes, she did some things that made some people mad because she didn't necessarily trust them to have the knowledge, or she knew that they wouldn't cooperate, right? But like, she put all of this stuff in motion because she knew, right? Like she just knew. So for me, that would put her in the advisor role. She's the friend that you would go to when you need advice. You need someone to put a situation that you're going through in perspective, right? Maybe you need help with a situation at home. Maybe there's a guy or something at school that you're having problems with. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The point is that she would be the friend that you would go to get advice, to get help, to get some clarity and perspective on the situation, to help you look at it in a different way. She would be the person that would always know what to do in any given situation. So I guess you could say that my role, I would be the communicator. I am the one that you would hang out with when you're just having a rough day. You want to be in company with somebody, but you don't want to have to talk a lot. You just want to be able to listen, you know? So then you could ask a person a question and then just have them for the next hour. That's me, okay? I'm the one that could for the next hour, okay? I'm the one that you could hang out with and know that you didn't have to say much. I would fill the silence, okay? I would fill the silence. And nothing has made that more obvious to me than when I started this YouTube channel and I started editing my own videos. I'm like sitting there with the cursor going, oh my gosh, woman, you're still going. Delete, 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 delete. Speed up, delete, delete, delete. Yeah, I learned I'm quite the talker. And you know what? There's sometimes I'm not even taking a breath, which can also make it kind of hard for me to edit videos because, you know, I'm waiting for myself to take a breath so I can cut. So I can cut and paste without it being weird. I talk a lot. And on that note, I'm going to go, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Stay safe out there. And you know what? Hug your loved ones. Bye.